As you make yourself comfortable and begin to relax, maybe you're settled into a familiar chair, or simply listening as the world outside gently turns. There's something comforting about the way light filters through a window and casts curious shapes on the floor. It's almost as if, without effort, the light finds its way in and settles, just as you can begin to settle in now, noticing the gentle rhythm of your breathing. And as these moments unfold around you, perhaps some part of you can allow your attention to drift inwards, curious about what it might be like to let go of the need to impress, even just for a moment. And it's interesting how sometimes noticing the way the sunlight softly shifts across a room, you can get drawn into watching the tiny dust motes dancing in the air, each one floating freely, carried effortlessly by currents invisible to the eye. And just like those motes of dust, you might find yourself becoming lighter, drifting into a space where time slows down, where concerns seem to hover at a comfortable distance. There's no rush here, only the gentle sense that you can let yourself relax even more deeply as you follow these effortless motions, discovering a quieter place inside. As you rest here, listening to my voice, imagine now that you're standing in an old, sunlit library. Tall windows, velvety silence, shelves curving away into soft shadows. Each book lining the walls contains stories of people who once believed themselves ordinary, yet who discovered their own unique glow by simply being present as themselves, letting the light fall where it may. And as you explore this library, you notice that some books are nestled on the tallest shelves, just out of reach, while others rest comfortably within arm's length. And you may realize that there's a choice in how you approach each story. You could strain and stretch, striving to seem a certain way, or be curious and open, trusting that the story you're meant to read will open itself when you're ready. And perhaps there were times in your own life when you felt you had to prove yourself, to measure against others standing nearby, their shadows looming so large. And yet, does a shadow ever add anything real to the book it falls upon? And the truth is, what seems intimidating from a distance is simply another story waiting to be understood. And sometimes you may notice, as you pause and breathe, that your confidence can surface gently, like sunlight returning after a passing cloud, reshaping everything it touches, never forcing itself And if a part of you has sometimes felt small in the presence of others, it's only natural. After all, even the most magnificent story began as a blank page, no more or less deserving than any other. And what if, when you next sense a twinge of intimidation, you remember the feeling of standing in this gentle library, the hush and the warmth, shelves whispering their own worth back to you. And in this place, it's okay to notice your own presence and allow the simple fact of being here now is enough. It's as though, instead of trying to chase after someone else's story, you can choose to turn towards your own pages, finding confidence, not in comparison, but in the steady unfolding of who you are. And even those who seem assured and imposing once stood where you stand, uncertain, hopeful, quietly discovering that their own presence was all they ever really needed. And perhaps there's a wisdom in recognizing that intimidation is just a forgotten chapter, one you can glance at and then gently close, while opening space for your authentic self to shine. And as you rest in this awareness, you might find that every breath can remind you of your quiet strength, and you can carry this calm assurance back with you whenever you choose. All those moments that once felt defining, intimidating, or beyond reach can become part of a library with rich possibilities. Each one a reminder that even as stories differ, your presence is its own quiet, steadfast light. And now, as you sense the air in this imaginary library clearing, the feeling of the sunlight warming your shoulders, your awareness can begin to return to where you are, becoming aware again of the support beneath you, the sounds around you, and the natural flow of your breath. With each moment, you might feel energy spreading from the tips of your fingers to the gentle stretch of your toes, as if waking from a most refreshing sleep. You can bring your attention fully back to the here and now, carrying with you all the confidence and calm you've discovered today. And in the hours and days to come, you may notice yourself responding with greater ease when faced with imposing situations, and to find it surprisingly natural to stand comfortably as yourself. This growing self-assurance can unfold quietly each time you remember some part of you already knows how to relax, to remain present, and let your story continue in just the way you choose. Thank you for taking this time for yourself today. If you'd like to revisit this experience, you're always welcome to return and explore deeper. And until next time, goodbye and good mental health.